It's the second Wednesday of the month, which means from now on, once a month, Boston Mayor Marty Walsh is going to join us here on the WBZ 10 to answer your questions and some of ours. So, Mr. Mayor, thanks for being here.
It's great to be here.
And welcome.
Thank you.
We have to jump right in on Tom Brady, the big hearing today. We have to ask you about it. You're a Patriots fan. What did you think about what happened today down in New York?
I just got caught up a little bit. I was falling all day from my office, but I couldn't hear anything. I was just watching it, so I don't think anything really came of it. I just know the sketch was tough.
The sketch was a little tough.
You know, that didn't seem like Tom Brady.
What do you make of his chances?
You know, it's hard to say. I hope he doesn't have to serve any time as far as suspension. But I think that it seems like the NFL's backed themselves into a corner. They can't get out of it.
Let's move on to casinos because, of course, the whole issue of the Everett Casino kind of came back up again this week. Steve Wynn has won the right to build the casino in Everett. The city has filed suit against him. Now, the Globe had reported that Mr. Wynn had said, "I'm told you want the citizens of Charlestown to vote. That will happen over my dead body." Did he say that?
Yeah, it got a little. Yeah, this week was a little contentious, but I think that what we need to do is take a little step back now and see where we're going. The city has a lawsuit that's we're moving forward with. You know, my job is mayor of the city to make sure the people of Charlestown, the people of Boston, are properly represented, and that's what I'm doing.
That is a toxic waste site in Everett. A lot of people say Wynn's going to go in, he's going to clean that up, he's going to build a casino. They need the jobs, you need the construction jobs. Why not build a casino?
Yeah, I think the important piece of that whole project is that Sullivan Square, Rutherford Ave, have to be addressed as well, and it can't be a partial fix. It has to be a full fix. 65% of the cars that are going to go into that site are going to go through Sullivan Square, Rutherford Ave, go through the neighborhoods of Charlestown, and it's important that we, if there's going to be a plan here to resolve what's going on, that has to be a major focal point in the plan.
Body cameras on police have been in the news. The city is now considering putting some body cameras on police. You have been lukewarm on this issue. We want to take a viewer question on this. Ian asks, what will you say the next time that we have a police-involved shooting and we don't have body camera footage to let us know what happened there?
I'm hoping that we don't have a police-involved shooting in Boston.
But if we do?
I mean, if we do, I mean, it's certainly situations that I get concerned about every single day. I know that we're working on the relationship side on the community. But as far as body cameras are going, we're looking at what's happening around the country. We're looking at what's happening here in Massachusetts. Worcester has body cameras, and we want to see the results of what the body camera actually proves and does. And probably going to look at putting together some type of commission or something to study this. And we've certainly, myself and Commissioner Evans, have been open to a pilot. We have not ruled out a pilot as far as, and most of them have been pilots. The cost, if we body camera every police officer in the city, the cost would be $3 million to buy the material, buy the equipment, and $2 million annually. And then we have to create a new division within the police department to store the film and come up with proper procedures.
So a lot to come. Have to ask you about the Olympics. The Boston bid died on the vine, as we saw. Having been through that whole experience in your first year and a half as a big city mayor, what did you learn?
Certainly learned the planning piece out of the Olympics was great. I mean, we had a chance to really look at Whitehead Circle and look at Harbor Point and look at some of the transportation issues. I think as far as what will this do, the Olympic experience help me with as far as being a mayor of the city of Boston, I don't have the answer to that right now. Because literally a handful of cities have gone for the Olympic bid, and you know, we were one of those cities. So I think what the benefit was that millions of dollars were spent privately into economic development, looking at planning, and we can benefit from that.
Okay, we want to transition to 10 quick questions. These are going to be rapid fire. We're going to try to get 10 in.
My first show, so we got to be careful.
We'll try to be careful. Right. The first one, Governor Baker has challenged you to the Ice Bucket Challenge. A viewer asked, John Deschen asks, are you going to do it? Are you going to take the ice bucket?
Absolutely. Friday, City Hall Plaza, 4 o'clock. Everyone come down, bring a bucket. We have the ice and water for you.
Oh, perfect. All right. We will be there. It has been said that you and Governor Baker have a bit of a bromance. True or false?
I don't know. I don't know. We rode 25 miles on a bike. I thought we were going to ride together. He took off me, so it's over.
Referring to the PNC,
it's over.
Of course. The book that has had the biggest impact on your life?
Most recently, The Other Westmore. I read that book just recently. Really, as far as being mayor and seeing inner city people of color, young men of color, in 2 different paths they can go down.
Excellent. Favorite movie?
Oh, God, that's a hard one.
If you had to name one on a desert island, what would you take?
I would probably go with Life is Beautiful, one of those.
Nice.
Beautiful. Best burger in Boston?
I can't answer that question. There's so many places. Any hamburger joint in Boston.
That's right. Only in the city.
I'll get myself in trouble.
Only in the city.
If you had to say right now, who wins the Democratic and Republican nominations for president?
Hillary Clinton and Jeb Bush.
How many games is Brady going to serve for the suspension? You had to pick a number.
I want to say 0. I never want to give up on that. 0.
0. I love it. I love that.
I just can't. I mean, we need him there.
We need him there.
But if he doesn't play, he'll get rest. So it's all right.
Yeah, that's right.
Do you do an impression of anybody?
No.
No.
Does anyone do a good impression of you?
I'm sure they do. Like a lot of people watching the show tonight.
I'm thinking Jimmy Tingle probably does a really good one.
Jimmy's done some stuff.
Yeah.
We'll have to get him on there. Best Boston athlete of all time.
Oh, that's not fair.
You can only name one.
Best Boston athlete of all time, Bobby Orr.
All right. And the last question. Seinfeld follows us, of course, every night after the WBZ 10. You're a huge Seinfeld fan.
Yep.
Favorite line, favorite episode?
Probably the Berkshire Short episode. That was a great one. And then favorite line, I know they're all great.
Well, Mayor, thank you for joining us so much. We appreciate it. He's going to be back with us every month. Thank you for joining us.
Awesome.
Thank you.
We will be right back.
Thank you, Mr. Mayor.